do you hate the law or love the law? Any law, let it be the law in country law, civil law, criminal law, church laws, the 10 Commandments, any kind of law. Do you love it or do you hate it? Well, I think we love and hate. Because we love when it is very important, very convenient for us. We hate it because it becomes a big pain or it goes against our style of living. Therefore, we often love and hate the law. But Jesus today tells what law you should really love and keep it in your heart and be part of that. I'll tell you a story of a senior parishioner. One of the senior parishioners went to the catechism class and wanted to find out how much the children know about the Bible. Therefore, one of the senior parishioners wanted to find out catechism teachers are doing well or not. And therefore, he went to the high school students for the catechism class, and then he asked, and he said, I want to see whether you all know the Bible. Do you know where in the Bible and who slain 5,000 Philistines with the jawbone of an ass? Who was that one personality in the Bible who slain all the 5,000 with the jawbone of an ass? Do you know? And parishioner wanted to find out who knows it. And then nobody was raising their hands. Then he pointed at a young boy and said, do you know? And he got up and he said, well, I did not do it. I did not do that. I did not kill 5,000 Palestinians with the jawbone of an ass. And the senior parishioner looked at the teacher and said, hey teacher, what is this? These boys do not know. And the teacher said, well, you see, this boy is a very good boy. He is very regular to the catechism classes. He knows everything. But I think he must have not done this at all. He must have not taken the jawbone and slain all the Philistines. And the teacher just answered that, and the parishioner was very disturbed. He went to the parish priest and he said, well, Father, you see, this is what your students and catechism teachers know. The boy said, I did not do it. The teacher said that boy is very good and he must have not done this. And the parish priest said, well, I think it is written somewhere in the Bible. Go check. And this man, the senior parishioner, disturbed about the entire thing, went to the bishop and said, what kind of a parish priest is this? He doesn't know who, with the jawbone of ass, slain all the 5,000. And the bishop said, I think somewhere in the Old Testament it is written. And this parishioner, after a few years, was explaining to some of the parishioners and said, this is what is happening in the parish. And one young boy in front of the row was laughing and laughing and laughing. And this man this parishioner was telling this incident that happened, asked that young boy, why are you laughing? Do you know the answer? And he said, no, sir. That young boy was myself. I was the boy when you asked this question. Who was the one in the Bible who slain with the jawbone of an ass? Do you know? Any one of you know? Pardon? Samson. Samson was the one who took the jawbone of an ass and slain 5,000 Philistines. And that's how his personality is well known in the Old Testament. And as the young boys and all will say, with the jawbone of an ass, with the jawbone of an ass, somebody heard it as, they jabbed him in his, whatever. My dear friends, when we look at this part, are we really bringing up the law of Christ, the law alive in our lives? Today, all the three readings speaks about the law and the laws. And that is why I asked you, do you love or hate the law? I think when we love the law, we follow the law. Often enough, we are very meticulous in following. Minutely we follow. But what happens is we turn our back to the essentials of the law. The essentials of the law is important. If we don't, then we lose the sense of law, why this law is. It is necessary for us to know the real sense of the law. Why did God, Yahweh, give 10 commandments? So that everyone, as we heard in today's first reading, that they may know the sense of the law. And when we know the sense of the law, then we can really put it into action, practice it in the best way possible. But what happened? As we see, Judaism was increasing. Judaism was flourishing. Jesus comes among living with all the Judaism, practicing Judaism religion. Jesus was practicing Judaism religion. And when he was following Judaism religion, he found all these Pharisees and the scribes, the hypocrites, who were caught up with all the traditions. These traditions connected to the 10 commandments or the book of Torah were very important. Therefore, they were caught up with all the actions of human beings, the traditions of Jewish customs, and therefore they slowly forgot about the real law. The sense of law was lost. That's the time Jesus comes to say, you listen, you're more interested in washing, cleaning, wiping. You're not interested in the important sense of the law. Therefore, I have come here not to abolish the law. I have come to correct you of the misuse of the law. You are misusing this law. Therefore, I want you to see that you make the best use of this law. That is the reason why Jesus comes to tell them, hey, listen, all this is not correct. But you must know the sense of law. Why? Because they were more caught up. If you break the 10 commandments, it is sin. So biblically, if you break the law, it is sin. And we all should know that breaking the law of love is sin. And these Pharisees, scribes and hypocrites, what did they do? They brought in sin so much that they were telling traditions and customs, and therefore they said, you are a sinner. Let us stone him to death. Let us push him out of the community. Let him be accursed. This is how they treated people. Humanity was gone. That is the reason why we see Jesus Christ coming in to tell, listen, the law and its sense of law is important. Therefore, we find Pope Pius XII, who said, the sin of the century is the loss of sense of sin. And Pope John Paul II said that today the world preaches about atheism. Don't believe in God. There is no God. And if there is no God, there is no sin. And that was final for them. Psychology tells us that you must be careful. Don't resist your feelings and all. And the sociological teaching says that you are a victim of all these social order. And that is how we see the law has been made into a type of practice. But you find Jesus Christ coming here and saying, hey, listen, here, understand. He says, nothing that enters one from outside can defile a person, but the things that come out from him or from within are that which defile him. From within people, from their own hearts come evil thoughts, unchastity, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, lusciousness, envy, blasphemy, arrogance, and folly. All these are from within and they defile us. Therefore, basically all this is evil. But you and I should know, if these are evil, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to see that I avoid. And if I have committed, mercy of God is there through the sacrament of confession. That is why, be very clear, to love the law, for you are a spiritual being as well. And therefore, I have to love the law, for I am spiritual, and also I have to love the law, for I have to be a law-abiding citizen. Finally, my dear friends, it was in Poland. One of the men went to another man and said, "Are you a Catholic?" And this man replied and said, "Well, I am a Catholic, I believe, but I don't practice. I believe, but I don't practice." And this Catholic immediately said, "Are you a communist?" And he said, "Yes, I am a communist. I practice, but I don't believe." This is what exactly Jesus wants to tell you, that you must put the law into action. It is, Jesus has simplified these 10 commandments into love of God and love of neighbor. Therefore, if I observe this law and keep that law, the law will keep me close to God.